Well, it's a nice winter one for tonight, and I bought a lot of equipment. Not all of it I'm going to use. Some of what is in the kit is there as backup, my own safety. I've got about 20 minutes to get to the top of a hill and pitch up before it goes totally dark. Trouble is, I'm a good 40 minutes from the top, so it looks like we'll be pitching up in the dark, getting through the night with whatever equipment I've got here. We're finally here. You're not going to see much, but you'll see the setup in the morning, we hope. Okay, in here, secondary insulation. This is the bottom of the frame pack. Moving up the Bergen, or the little backpack, spare jumper. I also have an element in the bottom of the pack which I hope is not going to be required. Thermarest hammock. Got my Gore-Tex mittens, balaclava for tonight, blow up pillow, and first job is to basher. Right, let me tell you where we're up to. It's taken just about 10 minutes longer than I'd usually take to put this up. Not that I'm in a hurry, and although it's gone dark, it is a well-practiced system, which is going to consist of a sheepskin rug and the winter underquilt and top quilt. I still have my survival sleeping bag, and that on its own, gee, where's that? It's cold. Should take me down to low temperatures. So I've got my hammock gear incubator, 0 degree. And this is the top burrow, also by Hammock Gear, 0 degrees. So if I just come underneath this top quilt here, it's not the first time we've done this trick. That's my sheepskin rug. Last time I used my sheepskin, it wasn't as cold as this, anywhere near. But this time I do have the incubator and burrow. It's a beautifully clear night and I can see a lot of stars, which this camera just isn't picking up. But this is my sleeping bag as well here, which is yet to be reviewed, so I'm not going to pull it out, but it is awesome, absolutely awesome. Gore-Tex trousers just there, so I've still got half the pack just with a sleeping bag. The other half of my vintage pack was taken up with top and bottom quilt, and I'm just about ready for a flask of coffee. So I'm going to make a litre flask like I did in the camp where I went out in the high winds. Thank God no high winds tonight, but bitterly cold. I'm well clad. I've got my long johns on, second base layer, then Gore-Tex over that if I need it, and that's just for walking in. I won't be sleeping in that. Last time I was out, I used just the top quilt, underquilt, 0 degree, different hammock, and it kept the cold off. I was too hot for the night, and that was wearing my snug pack softies. So tonight's camp, I want to wear as little as I can, just so next time I can see how little I can get away with once it starts going sort of 0 degrees or sub-zero. But I have got the additional layering of my sleeping bag. So, and it wasn't that heavy, the whole kit. Remember, that is a sheepskin, a bottom quilt, a top quilt, my sleeping bag. The sheepskin rug is only 810 grams, I weighed it, and my X-Ped down mat 1250 grams. So why didn't I bring my X-Ped? Well, that's because my underquilt won't wrap around the X-Ped and myself. It only seems to wrap around the X-Ped itself. So far so good. I'm warm enough and I'm a cold sleeper, as people on the channel will already know, so that's why I have additional insulation. It may even not be required. Also, the reason I have brought with me the extra sleeping bag, as well as the wool insulation or the sheepskin, and as well as the underquilts, if I'm out for a second night, I want to try a different kind of system, which may be just something as simple as the underquilt and sleeping bag, and dispense of the sheepskin and top quilt. And it's also there as a backup for me as well. If I get stuck out here and I start feeling hypothermic, I have got the extra insulation that I might require. Of course, next time so much won't be coming out. This is a testing phase for me. Now, once I've made my brew, I still have a little bit of water in my regatta water bottle here. I might even boil this up, pour the hot water back in here, and this is my hot water bottle for the night. I'm just going to stick it under my quilt. After it's cooled down, back onto the old stove again, pour it in, and then back into here, and just keep rotating it, so I've constantly got a source of heat for the night with this. So this ended up being quite an impromptu little camp. I only got these elements together in the past couple of hours before I decided I wanted to go, hence it going dark quick. I would have liked to have been here a little earlier. But where I am, I've just noticed car lights down the bottom. Must be maybe 400 or 500 metres away, so there must be a little lane or something, and I think it's like a little lover's lane where gentlemen take their lady friends to listen to music, I dare say. So I don't know whether really I should have moved further up, or maybe just bring a good pair of binoculars. Anywho, coffee time. Last time I was out it was a little more windy than this. It was a lot more windy, and I ended up making a flask of coffee just like this, and boy, what a lifesaver that ended up being. It's getting harder and harder for me to tolerate instant coffee now. I think I've been spoilt over the years. Anything else is just inferior to me now. Okay, a flask of coffee. Get the lid. This stays with me so I can sip on it. I'm going to wash out the old cook pot, boil up some water, and get myself a hot water bottle for the night. It's absolutely phenomenal coffee, that is. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to jump in the old sack just for a few minutes and just see what comes of it. Like I said, I would love just to camp out in this snow and cold, just in my long johns. Now perhaps I could if I introduced the sleeping bag section as well as everything else I have. All this kit won't be coming out every time. It's just so I can build up some data for myself. What works, what doesn't work. I'm never going to know unless I try. Where's that brew gone? Now, I would really love to test my new sleeping bag system and the underquilt, obviously, in conjunction. So I'm really tempted to change the system halfway through and have half the night with top quilt and sheepskin rug, and have the other half of the night just with my new sleeping bag system and underquilt. And I think that's going to be a winner as well. That's the outside of the tarp, so it's not exactly stealthy, but then again, I'm in the middle of nowhere. And the alterations are the top quilt's gone back into the pack along with the sheepskin, and this is the second part halfway through the night now, and I'm testing out this new bag system, and it seems to be working adequately. So I bought out 4 pieces, of which I only need 2. It is at freezing point now, and I'm warm. I'm warm. I'm not even in the bag system. But I did remove the sheepskin rug, and I did remove the top quilt halfway through the night test. Otherwise it wouldn't be much of a test, would it? And all it's done is left me with more questions than answers. It really has. Okay, I've got 1 empty regatta bottle. I've still got a full one here, which will give me enough for a brew in the morning. I'm going to half fill the old jet boil, get that on the go, and I want about enough to make a hot chocolate with now, and whatever's left over I'm going to put into this empty regatta bottle, and that's going in the bottom of the sleeping bag with me. Just get myself a hot water bottle going, and of course in the morning or late on at night I can still use this same water here to make a brew with, so nothing is wasted. It's going to be recycled. And I'm just going to pop this bad boy here in the bottom of my sleeping bag. That just goes into the bottom there. Ow, that is bloody hot. Ow. That just leaves the hot chocolate to do. I've already poured the milk and sugar, but all the electronics are in here. So if you have a mobile phone with you and a battery bank or something like that, get them in a little velvet bag, because if it goes below 0 it will drain your batteries quick. And talking of which, I'm going to turn this off for the night and get the charger on it, and I've got a lovely little warmer in the sleeping bag system, and plus the underquilt should I need it. I do have the sheepskin rug and top quilt as well, so that would be a great 4-piece system for sub-zero. And believe it or not, all this isn't that heavy. So until the morning, you take really good care of yourself, and I'll see you in a minute. Nighty night. Morning, morning, morning. Oh, what a night. Oh, that was cold. That was cold. That was cold. Oh. Right then. It's me. Haven't come to rob you. That was a cold night. It was toasty warm inside. Stepped out for a pee about 20 to 6, and I took my mittens off and my fingers went cold within seconds. Dived back in the system and warmed up. I've been up for about an hour, maybe hour and a half. I've put the old jet boil on and made myself a new flask, which I keep under the top quilt. And somewhere should be a nice hot cup of coffee as well. Oh man, and boy did I need these things. I needed that hot water bottle. I needed my brew with me all night. Now I haven't been sleeping properly. A bit of insomnia has kicked in with me over the past few weeks, if not a few months. But I slept alright. I kind of got off about 2:30. It was. I was listening to an audio book, and I tried about 3 or 4 of the systems last night, I tried under quilt and top quilt in whatever temperature it is. Worked great. Then I took the top quilt out and the sheepskin out and put my new sleeping bag system in, and my backside and my back went instantly warm. For trouble with that though, in the middle of the night it was pinching my toes a bit. The new sleeping bag system is designed to be tight, so if you're a big guy, that particular sleeping bag system, when it comes up in the show in the next few weeks or couple of weeks or so, I think it is, it might not be for you, that one. But boy, warm all night. But because it was pinching on my toes, I took it out and I put back in the sheepskin and top quilt. I was toasty in whatever configurations I did, whatever. But the new sleeping bag system, like I said, it was pinching on toes a bit. It wasn't comfy, but hell of a warm. So I could leave that at home. I could have left the sheepskin at home, really, and I'd have been warm. I'd have been warm enough. But that sheepskin really does bring that under temperature right up. It really does. Phenomenal. I've taken my mittens off just to switch camera on and film this, and my fingers are cold, really cold, bitter. It did start to condensate because I lost the ridge last night, and I had to get out in the middle of the night and retie it at the tree. First I had to unpeg, retie at this tree, repeg, and I had a much better apex, as you can see here. All my electronics, like I said, are in this velvet bag here, and just put it in with me under there. I had a real nightmare with the electronics, batteries, power bank, the cameras, everything died. Lighting the actual burner to make a hot water bottle and a flask, but put that under your armpit, 10 minutes, heat it up. Don't keep that canister warm. It doesn't work very well at all. I took one of the guy lines off last night, one of the corners, came to the middle and staked it out. This is just one line connected to two of the tie outs. That said, just staked it down here. It is bitter now, stupidly bitter. I'm losing feeling in my fingers. Got Raynaud's, and it's a killer on the old hands. That's better. The hammock itself you're going to see in upcoming episodes. They're pre-recorded from a few weeks ago, so I'll try and get them out to you when I can. But I didn't like it. My feet actually fall out of the hammock itself and they start resting in the underquilt. I've never had that before. I put a ridge line up on it thinking that would solve the problem. It didn't. So that is strictly my garden hammock now. I wished I'd have bought either my parachute nylon or even better still, my big green hammock, which I really wanted to bring out last night. I was going to put the X-Ped down mat in it and my new sleeping bag in it, just to see if it would have taken me through these low temperatures. I'd have been dubious about that looking back on it now in hindsight. Okay, I've squared up. Now I'm going to push off. So until next time, we're going to return to the main features. Like I said, you're going to see the hammocks that I've got coming up soon, and then I may consider taking out the big green hammock with some kind of X-Ped mat, but I don't think I'm going to do it sub-zero like it is now, and I'm only assuming it's gone below zero. I can feel it. I think it has.